Hi, how are you doing? Anyway, I know it's been long since I gave you a summary of what I studied on Sabbath. So let me just do this. Apparently, this Sabbath, the one that has just passed, it has been the Sabbath for Adventist men. And here are some of the highlights that I took note of. And I felt like, why not share it with the gents? Yeah, because one of the things I've been hearing is that guys are always like, who is going to empower us? Because we have empowered the ladies and the ladies have more information than them, but them, who is going to guide them in terms of growing into their healthy masculinity as well as just growing into healthy individuals. And here are some of the things I highlighted. Actually, these are the things that were shared. One, as a man, build a relationship with God. I think that is where most of the men tend to go wrong. People know who God is, people read the word of God, but having an actual relationship is where people do not know. And how to build a relationship means you need to create time for it, meaning you need to go to church, meaning you have to read the Bible, meaning you have to meditate on the word of God. You have to work on that relationship and also ask God to work on your heart, which is something difficult to most people because they do not know how to go about that. Niliambiwa this kazi ya makanisa ni kazi ya wasichana and the women. That is why you don't find most men in churches. But let me tell you, in our church, the population of the gents is bigger than for the ladies. Yeah, I actually go to Gloryland SDA while in Nairobi. And in Nakuru, I go to Ngata, that is where I'm raised. Then here is another one. You as a Christian, you're not a junior God. So one of the things you need to learn is that you cannot be perfect the way God is. You are a human being, and that is why Jesus came in form of a human being. And he experienced what it means to be to be a human being. And he acted according to a human being. Despite him having the Spirit of God, he experienced being a human being, and his life is a clear reflection of how a human being is like and what are some of the things you will go through and how to overcome some of these things. And just live life. You're not a junior God. Live life. The reason why even God is calling you, he doesn't want you to change at and become a different person. He wants you to show up as who you are and allow him to work on your heart. He really wants a relationship with you. If you wanted that, my friend, people like David, Solomon, they would have been in a different situation. Yeah. And then the other one is that set the pace as a man, because one thing is that you keep asking yourselves, why do women not submit? But the word of God says the same way you submit to God is the same way that woman is going to submit to you. So whom are you submitting to? Secondly, what kind of ideas and even character are you portraying for that woman to submit to you, for that woman to even decide to accept you? So you need to work on yourself in terms of your character, how you reason, just in short, work on yourself, then build a relationship with God. Then the other one is you can't choose a mate by yourself. That is one thing I think people tend to be told, like, it's upala, most the guys. You can't choose someone by yourself. You have to seek God's wisdom in order for you to choose now who the person you want to be with long term. At the end of the day, God knows what is right for you. So seek his wisdom in understanding what kind of a character is good for your future, what kind of a partner is good for you to build a family with, what kind of character would you want to see in your future kids, what kind of character that your neighbors and people around, even your family members, are going to admire from that partner that you choose. Do not just choose someone because your friends tell you, no. It is you to seek God first, because that person defines a lot about your future. Because marriage is a constitution of God. He is the one who knows what he wants to do with that constitution, and that is why most people, when they flourish, most times it is because they went on their knees and they prayed and God united them. And you see how they even operate, the love that they have, the peace that they give each other, it's not like they do not have arguments. People have arguments. But the way they relate to each other and the way they do things ni vitu tofauti from the one who doesn't have an actual relationship with God, or the foundation of that relationship wasn't based on God. Then the other one is choose a person that you are equally yoked. And this goes both ways, whether you're a believer or non-believer. If you're a believer, choose someone who is aligned to your values, your morals, your characters, your beliefs, your background. People that understand where you're coming from, and they won't try to shame you for trying to do things in a certain way. You will tell someone, I do not do this, maybe I don't drink or I don't smoke. But then juu hajazoea hizi mambo, he will try to entice you into these things. So those are some of the things you need to understand, as well as you will tell someone, maybe you are an unbeliever, you drink, and then you want someone who doesn't drink. Why do you want to bring problems into your own life? Find someone who has the same values and the same lifestyle as you have. And I wrote that article on Tell for Tale. Go and search the Ashlinda, or go to and check on my Instagram, one of the links on my bio, Tale for Tale. Then check out the story that is I wrote about unequally yoked and what it means to be unequally yoked. Then the other one is avoid as much as you can to interact sexually or intimately with your partner during dating period or even courtship, because one of the things is that it makes you lose interest in that person, as well as mistrust is built in such a situation. But because most of us have lived in that particular life where we've gone against those rules, we tend to feel like, why should I even be clean right now, and I have been living this kind of a life? It is the same thing. You probably have been living a different life before you chose to have a relationship with God. But because now you're consciously aware about the Word of God, you will start walking towards that direction and try to do things different from the way you're used to. And I feel like that is where most of us tend to move astray. So understand that this thing called sex before marriage, or when you're still dating, corrupts everything that you probably decided to work on. Let me know what you think about this, and if you find this insightful, then share it with any other gent or even your partner. Yeah.